Part 132. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1311. Chapter 1311. I have a happy event to tell you. Is it because Moyesi is tired of Shenro's entanglement and wants Shenro to get married quickly? Shen Yunchinj speculated secretly for a while, with a look of embarrassment on his face. Yes, you know Rura. She always has her own opinions, and she may not listen to me on ordinary matters. This is a major matter of marriage. Uncle Shen, I have already made an offer. Uncle Shen can think about it carefully before replying to me. Of course, Uncle Shen needs time to think about it, and I also need time here. If Uncle Shen hasn't thought it through clearly after today, the matter of cooperation will also never mind. Those projects can make money, but frankly, the temptation for me is not big enough. Shen Yunchinj was still in a daze. After Moyesi finished speaking, he asked Wei Zheng to come in and see him off. Asterisk. After get off work. Moyesi did not go back to his villa, but went back to Mo's house. There are some things that he needs to talk to Mo about. Having just arrived home and got out of the car, Moyesi saw a familiar car parked next to him. It was the black and gold Rolls-Royce that Mo Shixiu used to drive. He asked Uncle Zhang, who came out to pick him up, "Is the eldest brother back?" "Well, the eldest young master has just arrived home for a while. He is talking to his wife about something at the moment." Moyesi raised his eyebrows, feeling a little strange. He has been very free recently. He has gone back home twice this month. It's really rare. Do you know what he does when he comes back? Uncle Zhang shook his head. The eldest young master didn't say anything, but the eldest young master looks a little different from last time. It's different. Moyesi walked out of the garage, threw the car keys to Uncle Zhang, and asked with interest, "What's the difference?" "I can't tell you specifically. I just feel that the eldest young master has a smile on his face. He rarely had a smile on his face before. And the eldest young master seems to be in a good mood. He must have encountered some happy event." Moyesi paused. Thinking of something, he curled his lips and said, "Well, there must be something happy. I'll ask him." Asterisk. Entered the hall. Moyesi saw the old lady, Mo and Mo Shixiu sitting in the hall. Zhang Batong reported, "The second young master is back." The old lady turned her head first and saw her second grandson. She waved with a smile and said, "ACI, come here quickly. I have a happy event to tell you." Moyesi walked quickly towards the old lady. First he called me grandma, and then he raised his lips and asked, "Grandma, what a happy event, please make you so happy." He glanced at Mo Shixiu, who was sitting opposite, and asked again with a half-smile, "Could it be that my brother has finally fallen in love with the world and has a woman by his side?" Mo Shixiu held a cup of tea in his hand, raised his cold eyes, and glanced at Moyesi faintly. Although he didn't say a word, he didn't refute what he just said. Moyesi knew that he had guessed correctly. This matter is indeed related to Zhang Luli. It seems that his eldest brother is indeed a man of action, and is more efficient in dating than at work. Not long after Cai and Zhang Luli confirmed their relationship, they told their family about it. At this rate of development, it is estimated that Zhang Luli's girl will really become his sister-in-law before long. "You know your brother," the old lady's eyebrows were filled with joy. "But your brother has a woman by his side? So does Shixiu. Why don't you bring her back this time for us to see?" "Grandma, it's not that I won't bring her back, it's just that we have only been dating for a short time, and I rashly asked to meet our parents. I was afraid that she would be frightened." End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1312. Chapter 1312. She and her siblings are from the same school. Mo Shixio smiled warmly. After a while, when the relationship stabilizes, I will bring her back. Grandma can prepare the greeting gifts in advance. Okay, okay, I will definitely prepare the meeting gift. The old lady agreed happily. Bring her back earlier. I want to see what kind of girl can make you fall in love. It's really an eye-opener for God. Ah, it's fine now. SI has just solved his personal problem, and now yours is almost done. I said that our Mo family has not done anything immoral, so how can we let the Mo family become extinct? Well, I will try to bring her back as soon as possible. Mo Shixio nodded with a smile. The old lady looked happy. But there was no smile on Mrs. Mo's face sitting beside her. Instead, she had a sullen face, looking unhappy. Shixio, did you just say that girl is still studying? Mrs. Mo tried to find girls from famous families for Mo Shixio, but they were all rejected by Mo Shixio. Since Mo Yesi silently gave evidence to a woman from a small family, Mrs. Mo was very afraid that her eldest son would do the same thing. Her two sons grew up to be excellent. She once thought that there was no woman in Yun City who could match her two sons. However, one of her sons has been seduced by a scheming girl from a small family. If even her eldest son was deceived by those messy women, she would definitely not agree to it. Yeah, Mo Shixio thought for a while and said, but she will graduate soon. Which school is she from? Is she in Yunchinj now? Mrs. Mo asked again. She and her siblings are from the same school. Mo Shixio hesitated, but still did not tell Zhang Luli and Xiao Mian that they were best friends. He only said, she is currently a junior at Yunchinj Film Academy. What? Mrs. Mo's expression changed instantly. There was only a pop sound, and the cup in Mrs. Mo's hand fell to the ground. The porcelain cup hit the marble floor and shattered into pieces. The sound made is extremely loud. The old lady looked at the broken cup, frowned, and held back her anger and asked, Wenpei, what's wrong with you? I see that you look absent-minded. If you feel uncomfortable, go back to the room and rest. The old lady already has a big opinion against Mrs. Mo. Mrs. Mo's recent performances have made her very dissatisfied. So when she saw Mrs. Mo was in trouble again and had such an expression on her face, the old lady felt uncomfortable. What she meant was to ask Mrs. Mo to go back to the room. Lest you always keep a straight face and affect everyone's mood. How could Mrs. Mo not hear it? She said with an ugly face, Mom, I don't feel uncomfortable. The old lady snorted coldly, don't hold on if you feel uncomfortable. I don't think your condition is normal. Are you sure you don't need a doctor to look at you? Mrs. Mo, no need. Aren't you most worried about the boss's personal problems? Now that the boss finally has a partner, I see why you look unhappy. Why, tell me where you are dissatisfied. Mom, you misunderstood. I have no dissatisfaction. Even if Mrs. Mo was dissatisfied, she couldn't say it out at this time. She could feel that the old lady was already very dissatisfied with her. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1313. Chapter 1313. She must stop it. Mrs. Mo was still afraid of her powerful mother-in-law. The old lady glanced at her and snorted, I'm telling you, you are not allowed to interfere in the children's personal problems. As long as my grandchildren live a happy life, they can find whatever they want. As parents and elders, the most you can do is give them some advice for their reference. As for whether they listen or not, that's their business, and we can't force it. Anyway, they won't live with us in the future, no matter what they do. How could the old lady not tell what Mrs. Mo was thinking? This is dissatisfaction with the girlfriend Mo Shixia found. That girl, like Mian, is from a film school, and I'm afraid she will also enter the entertainment industry after graduation. The old lady actually doesn't like the entertainment industry either. But at her age, she doesn't want to worry so much anymore. Children and grandchildren will have their own blessings. As long as her two grandchildren live a happy life, everything else is not that important. It is naturally the best if you can find someone who is a good match. Can't find it, there's nothing. In any case, the Mo family does not need to rely on marriage to stabilize their status. Her two grandchildren are so outstanding, and they do not need to rely on marriage to obtain anything. The old lady can think about it, but Mo can't think about it. The family has already married an actor who is involved in the entertainment industry, and she is always worried that people will find out that they are laughing at her behind her back. If people knew that both of her sons were married to actors, how could she hold her head high in front of all the ladies in the future? She and her two sons will become the of jokes. The actor is lowly. It's basically something for people's entertainment. However, this entertaining thing was taken home by her son. Thinking of this matter, Mo became extremely angry. What makes her even more angry is that now her eldest son also likes an actor. Still in the same school as that woman Chiao Mian. How could Mo accept this? She was so angry that her face was red. If the old lady hadn't been there, she would have burst out on the spot. These little bitches. She just kept an eye on her son for hooking up. One Chiao Mian, and now here comes another one. This time, no matter what, she will not let the same thing happen again. She must stop it. Mom, you are worrying too much. Mo was extremely angry, but she said with a compensating smile, Siu finally got a girlfriend. As a mother who cares about her son, I naturally have to ask. I was just asking, nothing else. Really, the old lady glanced at her and said calmly, I hope that's the case. Everything is going well for the family and I don't want anything messy to happen at home again. Also, the affairs of the second child's family are their own business. You are just a sister-in-law, so don't interfere in other people's family affairs. The old lady's words suddenly shocked Mo. Her face changed, a trace of panic flashed in her eyes, and she hurriedly responded, Yes, Mom. I already know that I was wrong, and I will never do that again in the future. With such an important matter like a paternity test, do you think I would be so confused that someone could easily fool you? You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say anything random. Chen Chen is my biological grandson. This matter is a sure thing. There is nothing to doubt. From now on, if anyone dares to gossip again, no matter who he is, I will deal with it. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1314. Chapter 1314. This move is really good. Although the old lady saved her some face and did not directly accuse her of talking nonsense, how could Mo not know that the old lady was talking about her and the second madam? The old lady knew what happened that day as soon as she came back. At that time, he took her and scolded her severely. Mo's face was a little green, and there was some dissatisfaction in her eyes. She endured it and said, Mom, it is precisely because it concerns the blood of our Mo family that we should be particularly cautious. Our Mo family is not an ordinary family. I don't want to get a place in the Mo family. Yasi and I are also afraid that someone will take the opportunity to sneak in. We may have done something wrong, but our starting point is for the good of the Mo family. Mom, don't you think this is a coincidence? You have been looking for that child for so many years and still haven't found it. Not long after Chiao Mian married into the Mo family, the child was found immediately. The first time she brought her brother to the house, she made you think that her brother is our MO family. After that, we did a paternity test and confirmed the matter. Don't you think it all went so smoothly? It seemed like it had been arranged by someone a long time ago. Perhaps when you saw the paternity test results, you were just happy and didn't think about anything else. However, I just think there is something wrong with it. That's enough, the old lady scolded angrily with a straight face. Shut up and keep talking nonsense. Don't blame me for not showing you face in front of the two children. MRSMO bit her lip. Mom, I do this for the good of this family. I know you don't like to hear these words, but good advice is offensive. If those with evil intentions succeed, the MO family will really have no peace in the future. Mom, do you mean that Mian has evil intentions? MO Yessie, who had been silent all this time, suddenly spoke up. The voice is cold and light. As soon as MRSMO turned her head and met his cold eyes, even if it was her own son, MRSMO couldn't help but shudder. Sometimes, she was a little afraid of her little son. MRSMO pursed her lips. The look she had just made with Mo Yessie made her feel a little unsure. She knows it in her heart. As soon as she finished speaking, she heard Mo Yessie sneer. So, what does Mom mean? Do another paternity test for Chen Chen? Let the person you find do it, so that you can believe it. MRSMO was stunned and was about to say yes. Then Mom and second aunt can make a fake paternity test to prove that Mian and Chen Chen teamed up to deceive us? Then you can take this opportunity to divorce Mian and me. Because of this matter, Grandma won't objection. As for the second aunt, there is no need to worry about Chen Chen returning to the clan and threatening her and her nephew's status. This trick is indeed very good. It can solve your troubles as well as the second aunt's troubles. So you are forcing Mian to admit that she bribed the doctor around Grandma to do a fake paternity test. Seeing the panic on MRSMO's face, Mo Yessie curled his lips, looked directly into her eyes and said, I wonder if you came up with this plan, Mom, or the second aunt. I guess it is. Second aunt, she knew you didn't like Mian, so she told you about it and you were moved. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1315. Chapter 1315. Are you in a hurry to go back to be with your girlfriend? You have always wanted Mian to divorce me. You think she is not worthy of being your daughter-in-law. You want to bring me and Shenro together. In your eyes, the Shen family and the Mo family are the perfect match, and you have watched Shenro grow up. The ideal daughter-in-law in your mind is Shenro. Even though Mian and I got married, you never gave up on this idea. MRSMO's face turned pale little by little. You. Mo Yessie smiled again, but there was no smile at all in his eyes. Mom, do you think I don't know what you are thinking? I never said it, just thinking that you might give up after struggling for a while, but I think wrong. Since I can't change your mind, I don't want to change it either. I said, if you can't accept Mian, then we will never appear in front of you again. Mo Yessie said, slowly stood up under MRSMO's panicked and angry eyes, stared into her eyes, and spoke word by word. One sentence said, when did you accept Mian, and I will come back. Grandma, if you want to see Mian and me, I will arrange for someone to take your old man to our place. As for this home, I won't come back for the time being. After hearing his last words, MRSMO's face turned extremely pale in an instant. Mo Yessie said so, she remembered it. But she never thought that he would actually do it for real. For that woman, he actually gave up his biological mother who gave birth to him and raised him. The old lady was also stunned, with a look of surprise in her eyes. You. Grandma, you don't need to persuade me. Mo Yessie's eyes were firm. After saying this, he stopped looking at MRSMO. I have made up my mind. The old lady looked at him for a while, sighed softly, and said nothing more. Children are older and have their own opinions. Perhaps only in this way can the problem be solved. She hopes that the family will be in harmony, but sometimes, harmony cannot solve the problem. Hearing what he said, Mo Shixia raised his eyebrows and expressed no opinion about it. Mo is their mother and someone they should respect. There are times when one cannot be foolish and filial. If it were him, he would probably do the same thing. I have something else to do, so I'm going back first, Grandma. I'll talk to you again when the sky clears. When Mo Yesi left, he only said hello to the old lady. I didn't pay attention to Mo anymore. Mo was angry and sad. Before Mo Yesi could leave, she stood up with red eyes. She said angrily in sadness and anger, "Okay, let's go. Don't come back after you leave. I'll just take it as a white-eyed wolf was born. I don't even want my own mother for a woman. I don't want such a son anymore." As soon as she finished yelling, Mo turned around and ran away. The old lady pursed her lips, and after a moment of silence, she sighed again, shook her head and said, "You are so old, but you are still not sensible at all. This is because your father has spoiled you. When Yun Chen comes back, I must tell him, well, say him. Grandma, I have something else to do. I'll come back to see you another day." Mo Shixia raised his wrist and checked the time. Thinking of Zhang Luli saying that he was going to see a movie in the evening, he didn't want her to wait too long and was anxious. "Go back." The old lady glanced at him and joked, "I just got home and I'm about to leave. Are you in a hurry to go back to be with your girlfriend?" Mo Shixia smiled and said without changing his expression, "Well, she is still waiting for me at home." End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1316. Chapter 1316. What do you like about Zhang Luli? After leaving, Mo Yesi and Mo Shixia walked toward the garage together. Mo Shixia's cell phone rang. He took it out, looked at it, and answered it. The man's voice was as cold and calm as usual, without any emotion. But if you listen carefully, you can hear it is a little different from usual. Mo Yesi and Mo Shixia grew up together since childhood, and they know their brother better than others. From the moment Mo Shixia picked up the phone, his voice was much gentler than usual. "Hello. Well, I'm getting ready to go back. I'll be home in about an hour. You don't have to worry about me, just choose what you like and I'll do it. Eat something first if you're hungry. Don't wait for me, you eat first. I'm not hungry yet." "Okay, I understand, then you should buy the ticket first." After a while, Mo Shixia hung up the phone. Beside him, Mo Yesi curled his lips and said with a bit of teasing, "My girlfriend is on duty." Mo Shixia turned his head to look at him, smiled, and put the phone back. "Yeah. Urge you to go back?" "No, just asking me when I will get home. She can book movie tickets. I promised her to take time to watch a movie with her today." Mo Yesi was silent for a few seconds after hearing this. Even though he and Mo Shixia were brothers who grew up together and knew his brother very well, he was still a little surprised when he heard these words from Mo Shixia. His eldest brother is a workaholic. "When I was studying, I was focused on my studies and was not interested in anything else. After I came out to work, I focused on my work again." In short, his personal life is all about work, and Mo Yesi doesn't even know what other interests his brother has. If he had to say what other hobbies he has, probably fitness training would be one of them. He had never thought about what Mo Shixia would be like after falling in love. In his opinion, Mo Shixia's ability to fall in love is as strange as the red rain under the sky. But now, there is such a person who not only fell in love, but also seemed to be making good progress. His brother actually talks about falling in love. From Mo Yesi's point of view, this is an incredible thing. What made him even more incredible was that Mo Shixia was willing to take time out to go on a date with Zhang Luli to watch a movie. Brother, will Zhang Luli become my sister-in-law in the future? Mo Yesi knew that he had asked an obvious question, but he still wanted to confirm it with Mo Shixia himself. What do you think? Mo Shixia did not answer him directly. Mo Yesi curled his lips. It seems that this is likely to be the case. I didn't expect that the one who captured you in the end would be that little girl Zhang Luli. I thought you liked someone who was intellectually mature. Women are not interested in this kind of little girl. The blind dates that mom arranged for you before were all intellectual and elegant ladies, no wonder you weren't interested in them. But I still want to know, what do you like about Zhang Luli? Mo Shixia looked at him and asked, then what do you like about your siblings? Mo Yesi. I never thought that the one who could win over my brother in the end would be a little girl. This can only show that both of us have good taste and have fallen in love with excellent girls. They are also the best friends. You ask me what I like about her. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1317. Chapter 1317. Who dares to touch my people? Mo Shixia thought for a while, then curled his lips and said, I really can't answer this question for you. I don't even have the answer in my own mind. Maybe if I look at it individually, I'll find that many aspects of her don't meet my criteria for choosing a mate. But some people like it. There is no standard for liking someone. If you like someone, you like it. There are so many reasons. Just follow your heart in everything. Your heart will not lie to you. Mo Yesi felt that it would be very suitable for his eldest brother to become a monk. The great principles I have realized are set after set. And he felt that it made sense. He never thought about what he liked about Jiao Mian. Once he fell in love with her, he felt that everything about her was good and worthy of his liking. Brother, I hope you can protect her. Mo Yesi knew how close Zhang Luli and Jiao Mian were, so he would naturally be more concerned about Zhang Luli. Your current situation is not very good. Safety, if people know that there is a woman around you, I am worried that those people will not be able to attack you and will choose to target the people around you. Mo Shixia was silent for a moment and frowned. Thinking of something, a cold look flashed in his eyes. After a moment, he narrowed his eyes and said, who dares to touch my people? I won't give them a chance. The moment he chose to be with Zhang Luli, he considered every issue. If he can't even protect her, how can he protect her future happiness? Asterisk. Ms. Zhang, sir is back. Zhang Luli was in the bedroom choosing clothes to wear on a date at night. She has moved to Mo Shixia and lives with him. The two of them are now living under the same roof, but not to the point of sharing a bedroom. Zhang Luli lived in a separate room. Her room was very close to Mo Shixia's bedroom, both on the same floor. Zhang Luli doesn't know what it's like for others to fall in love. Anyway, what can I say about her relationship with Mo Shixia? Said that the two are already boyfriend and girlfriend, and are in a formal relationship. But when the two of them get along on a daily basis, they are not as close as male and female friends. Mo Shixia is a man who looks like a very upright gentleman, but is actually a very upright man. The initiative or anything like that is almost non-existent with him. As a girl, Zhang Luli is embarrassed to be too proactive in emotional matters, no matter how outgoing she is. So the two of them were having such a lukewarm relationship. Zhang Luli didn't know whether this was a good idea or not. Mo Shixia is very good to her in other aspects except that he is not too proactive in relationships. He cares about her enough. He is also willing to spend money on her. He would not refuse any request she made. It can be said that she is completely obedient to her. A man like him is a proud man. Zhang Luli is actually very satisfied with what she has been able to do so far. Zhang Luli spent a long time choosing, and finally chose a peach-colored dress that showed off her figure. After she put it on, she straightened her hair and then walked out of the bedroom. Sister Lin stood waiting for her outside the bedroom. Seeing her come out, he looked her up and down and said with a smile, "This skirt is beautiful. Miss Zhang looks very beautiful in it." When Mr. Zhang sees it later, his eyes will definitely light up. Zhang Luli has a good figure. He is 1.7 meters tall, with a well-proportioned body, and a pair of long legs that are particularly eye-catching. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1318. Chapter 1318. Feeling more and more like home. The skirt she is wearing brings out almost all the advantages of her figure. The skirt is a very simple style, but it looks particularly good looking on her body. Chiao Mian smiled non-committally after hearing Sister Lin's words. That person Mo Shixiu. Having the same character as an old cotter, he is indistinguishable about his emotions and anger. She felt that no matter how beautifully she dressed, his face would probably have no expression. Asterisk. Zhang Luli followed Sister Lin downstairs. As soon as he went downstairs, he saw Mo Shixiu walking in from outside. He is wearing a white shirt and black trousers, which are obviously the most ordinary clothes, but they look so good on him that people can't take their eyes away. A man is handsome, noble, and has an extraordinary temperament. It is not the clothes he wears that set him off, but the clothes he wears that set him off. Zhang Luli looked at the handsome face that seemed to be carved out, and his heart beat faster and faster. Until now, she still feels like she is dreaming. She couldn't believe that she was actually dating Mo Shixiu. Mo Shixiu, the national male god, is actually her boyfriend. The man that many women dare not dream of is actually hers. For a pretty girl like her, this is undoubtedly the ultimate goal of reaching the sky in one step. Sir Sister Lin looked at Zhang Luli's dazed look and couldn't help but chuckle and said jokingly, "Miss Zhang is surprised that you arrived home so quickly." "Sir, along the way, the speed of the car is pretty fast. I said I would get home in an hour, but in the end, I arrived in only 40 minutes. This is really a homecoming. I thought her husband didn't know how to fall in love or take care of girls. It seems that there are some things that men are born with. This is great now. Since Ms. Zhang moved in, my husband has been going home more and more often. This home feels more and more like home." Yet he didn't know whether Mo Shixiu didn't hear Sister Lin's teasing, or whether he did and didn't take it seriously. He looked at Zhang Luli and said, "A little faster than usual, so that Luoli won't have to wait too long." Sister Lin was startled, then covered her mouth and laughed. She smiled sweetly, as if she was in love. "Sir, you are so considerate to Miss Zhang." Seeing that the relationship between the two of them was so good, Sister Lin was happy from the bottom of her heart, with a happy smile on her face. "I'll get a glass of water for you. Are you hungry, sir? Let the kitchen make some midnight snacks." "No need. Okay, I'll get some water." Sister Lin made an excuse and left. She didn't want to be a light bulb. Mo Shixiu's cold eyes swept over Zhang Luli, his eyes flickered slightly, and he whispered as if there was something suppressed in his throat, "The color of this skirt is good. It makes your skin color very white. You look good in your clothes." Zhang Luli was still beating his heart over what he just said. Hearing his praise, he was startled and raised his head in surprise. As soon as he raised his head, he met the man's deep, ink-like eyes. Mo Shixiu seemed to have a sea of stars in his eyes. Once he looked into it, it was easy to get lost in it. The man's voice was cold, not gentle. But it was the words spoken in such a cold voice that made people's hearts move even more. Zhang Luli thought that Mo Shixiu was the kind of straight man who wouldn't praise women at all. Unexpectedly, he actually complimented her on the beautiful skirt she was wearing and said that the color of the skirt matched her skin tone very well. Zhang Luli wouldn't feel too much when others praised her so much. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1319. Chapter 1319. What's mine is yours. The person who praised her was Mo Shixiu. Her face felt a little hot, and the blush showed through her fair skin. She reached out to cover her face and said a little embarrassedly, "Really? Do you think I look good in this skirt?" Mo Shixiu said with admiration in his eyes, "This skirt suits you very well. You should buy more clothes like this." Zhang Luli has a carefree personality, a bit like a tomboy. The usual dress style is also very casual, usually tee and jeans. She rarely buys more feminine clothes. It was a rare occasion for me to wear a skirt and be praised by Mo Shixiu. She thought, it turned out that Mo Shixiu liked clothes with this style, and she could buy more skirts in the future. Seeing that she didn't speak, Mo Shixiu thought for a while, then silently took out his wallet from his suit pants, and then took out a card from the wallet. He handed the black card in his hand to Zhang Luli. "Zhang Luli." She blinked and said doubtfully, "This is." Mo Shixiu pursed his lips and said, "Take it to buy clothes. Buy some clothes and give her a black card?" He just gave her a card before. Mo Shixiu, "No need, I." Before Zhang Luli could say her refusal, the man's cold fingers grabbed her hand and put the card into her palm. He met her wide-open eyes, and his voice was still clear and cold, but with a bit of force, "Take it. What's mine is yours, you can use it as you like. If it's not enough, tell me again. Do not refuse. Buy whatever you like, buy more, you don't have to save money for me." Mo Shixiu did not continue to entangle with her on this matter. After giving her the card, he took the initiative and asked, "Have you booked the movie tickets? What time is it? Can we leave now?" Zhang Luli lowered his head and glanced at the black card in his hand that still had the warmth of a man. For a moment, he felt a little indescribable. She felt that it was poverty that limited her imagination. Rich people have stacks of black cards. She just bought some clothes. Mo Shixiu gave her a black card. "Are you planning to ask her to carry all the clothes in the mall home? Are you going out like this?" Zhang Luli sighed silently for a while, thought about it, and accepted the card. Since her boyfriend is so rich, he has to give her a card to spend money. If she doesn't spend some money, wouldn't it be a disgrace to his kindness? This is Mo Shixiu's way of expressing his love for her. What's wrong? Mo Shixiu looked down at himself and found nothing inappropriate. He was silent for a moment and asked seriously with an attitude of asking questions modestly if he didn't understand, "Is there something wrong?" "No problem." Zhang Luli shook his head, "It's just that if you go out like this, you will be recognized, right? Do you need to wear a mask or something when going out?" Mo Shixiu and Mo Yesi are different. He is almost equal to a public figure, one who often appears on television. Many people know him. Zhang Luli had already prepared a mask and sunglasses for him. She turned around, picked up the bag that was left on the sofa, took out the mask and sunglasses from the bag, handed them to Mo Shixiu and said, "You'd better put these on. This way no one will recognize you. Also, are you sure you can really go to the movies with me? Don't you need to clear the place in advance or something?" End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 1320. Chapter 1320. He is so handsome in person. Tonight's movie was something Zhang Luli didn't expect. She never thought that Mo Shixia would really take the time to watch a movie with her. After all, he is a person who is devoted to his work. She felt that even if he had free time, he would not spend it on such meaningless things. So I just mentioned it casually at that time without any hope. Who would have known that Mo Shixio actually agreed immediately? Mo Shixio took the sunglasses and mask handed to him by Zhang Luli. He answered her question seriously, if you don't like clearing the place, since it's a date, then use the way you like. If you don't like too many people, then I can ask people to clear the place in advance. No, Zhang Luli felt that her heartbeat, which had just calmed down, accelerated again. It would be good to have more people and more excitement. I'm just worried about whether it will have an impact on you if the venue is not crowded. Mo Shixio chuckled lightly. Aren't you ready for me? He looked at the sunglasses and mask in his hand and curled his lips and said, I haven't gone to the cinema to watch a movie in many years, maybe it will be a good experience. Zhang Luli is still hesitating. A hand suddenly stretched out in front of her eyes. She was stunned for a moment and raised her head. Let's go, take me to a movie. Mo Shixio stretched out a hand with a warm smile on his lips. If you delay any longer, you will be late. I have been working overtime for tonight's movie. I've been working for several days, don't let me work overtime in vain these days. Zhang Luli has always felt that Mo Shixia was emotionally inexperienced. So much so that the two of them became boyfriend and girlfriend, and their relationship did not develop further. Still remain like ordinary friends. But at this moment, looking at the man's stretched out hand, her previous thoughts changed. It turns out that Mo Shixio is not an incomprehensible person. It turns out that he is also very good at pleasing women. Zhang Luli's lips raised a little bit, and she slowly handed her hand to him. Mo Shixio held her hand naturally. The man's palm was dry and warm, and when he completely wrapped her little hand in his palm, Zhang Luli felt as if his palm was electrocuted. The electricity flowed through her palms and flowed into her heart. At that moment, my heart was also shocked. Asterisk. Early the next morning, Xiao Mian got up. She packed up and went to the set with Nana and Aji. The advantage of having an extra male assistant is that he can carry all the big and small bags. Mo Yesi arranged for someone to pick her up. The group arrived at the set in a Land Rover. As soon as Xiao Mian got out of the car, she saw a black nanny car parked next to them. The car door opened and two people got out first. The last person to come down was Bai Yisheng's new male lead, Qin Han. Xiao Mian had only seen Qin Han on TV before, and this was the first time she saw Qin Han in person. Qin Han on TV is already handsome enough. But he looks much better in person than on TV. He is the kind of man who looks very masculine at first glance and is full of masculine charm. Nana is also a fan of Qin Han. When she saw Qin Han, she almost screamed. Wow, Mian, it's Qin Han. Nana didn't know that the newly chosen male lead was Qin Han. She covered her mouth excitedly, fearing that she couldn't control her voice, and screamed, Sister Mian, how come Qin Han is here, our crew? Oh my god, he's so handsome in person. Xiao Mian already knew that Qin Han was going to star opposite her. End of this chapter.